So what Hektar is, it's a cloud-based platform, so you don't need to download anything or you don't need to install anything on your computer. It's completely web-based and you can just go to app.hektar.ai and create an account and sign up. And let me guide you through the first workflow. So you meet this dashboard with your current project. And if you're a new user, you will have this empty dashboard. I think you will have one demo project. But other than that, you will only have a white canvas. You start with a new project. And I'll guide you through how to do that. So starting a new project means setting up the context, setting up the location, defining your site boundary, and basically tell the origin and the center of your project. So everything is based on OpenStreetMap as a base level, which means Hektar works everywhere in the world, but the data quality could differ depending on what kind of data is available. But to remember, the base level of information is based on OpenStreetMap. And I will do a test project in my hometown, which is Gothenburg in Sweden. I'm actually currently in Spain, so we will fly back to Gothenburg. Chris? So now we find the city over here, and if I have a certain site, I can of course search on that site, or I can pan around and navigate in my map like this. I will zoom in, and we will see where we will do our first test. We can go a little bit up here, maybe, and let's try something on an empty site. Let's we do it. Yeah, maybe here. So you have multiple ways. Now, when you found your location, you can either upload a reference, which means you upload. It could be a sketch, it could be a detailed plan, or it could also be a file where you define your plot boundaries. We do tests, but if you don't have any information, you can still use Hektar in a very, very early stage, and you can just draw your outer part of your boundary. So in this case, let's zoom in a little bit more, and we have this big area over here, and we say, okay, here is perfect plot for us. So we draw this outer boundary, and of course, if you have your property regions, you can upload them, or you can, if you go to the right panel over here, you can go to the data layers, and you can see that you can turn on property regions, and you will then get the information from national sources or from municipalities over here. Anyway, let's continue with this plot. And I create saved project. So this is a very easy way to just get started with Hektar and create your first project area. Now, when we are inside this project, we still have this area over here. We are now in a 3D view. And what we now do is that you can see that this area is blue, which means it's selected. On the left-hand side, we have different input parameters for typologies. So the first thing I want to do is to see if I need to split this site. And right click on the auto divide tool, and you will go from a larger area, which is typically what we call a site. You will divide that and go into something that we call parcel. Now, when we are in the parcel level, I can click here and I can select what kind of typologies I would like to include. And in my first run, I'll try to do all of the different typologies. I specify the FAR, which is the density and the amount of square meters. So in this case, I want quite high density on this part. And when I can go here and I can also select the average amount of floors, and I don't want 12 floors. I want probably 4 to 6 floors on this parcel. I can specify different optimization criteria. If I want to optimize for sky view factor or direct sun, for example, we also have, I'm not going to go through one of the inputs. That's up to you to explore, and you can also check out later videos. But in general, you specify input parameters over here. And you press generate. And what happens is that this specification goes into our algorithms and Hektar tries to optimize a building based on your input criteria. And then I continue with the other one, and I say this, I want a little bit lower density on this one. I don't want it to be that high, so I'm going to do it like this. And I press generate. So in less than a minute, I just get my first rough proposal over here. And maybe I think that I'm quite happy with this one, but I'm not really happy with how the shape of this parcel is done. So I'm going to try to try a little bit higher density and reduce the amount of floors, and also actually increase the amount of how much of the ground that is actually covered. And now you can see that we switch over to another typology and we have created 2 quarters. And what actually happens now is that if we go to the right-hand side, we see what we call the statistic panel. And we see the total statistics to the right. So we've now generated 29,227 square meters. And the selected area over here, it's 13,000 square meters. And if I click on this part over here for the parcel, I can see how much of this building, how many square meters is allocated there on the city. So down here, you have all of the statistics. And again, I'm not going to go through all of the different KPIs. I have a specific video just about the statistic panel. So if you want to know more, you can check that out. But in general, we have a breakdown of areas, quantities, and also ratios, like how many units and what is the percentages and what is the density and so on. We also have a breakdown of the whole model, which is what we call Hektar urban elements, where you have a list of how the model is constructed. And this tab over here is for data layers. So now we are in Sweden, and we can then toggle on, as I showed you before, we can toggle on property regions. We can look at ground coverage. For some certain places, we have detailed plans, but not all of the places in Sweden. We also have terrain shading, and we have terrain slope. And yeah, you can see a lot of different layers, also soil types and so on. So you can toggle them on and off. And to continue, let's see over here, we can also do some quick evaluations of the context, like how many buildings do I have in my surrounding? What is the connectivity? So here I see that the layers start to appear a little bit slower. It was probably a lot to load, but we can see what it looks like with the soil types and the data layers and so on. You can do a lot of evaluations for the context, how far you can walk and so on. I'm going to go back here and I'll switch off the ground coverage, detailed plans, like this. So we're back in the default view again. And of course, you can, since everything is GIS based, you can change the shadows and the times for a certain location, and you will constantly get what does it look like at a certain time of the day at this given location. Of course, you can also edit the building if you aren't happy with the overall concept, but not everything you want to modify the details. So for example, you can click on this building, you can select what kind of level you want to interact with. So let's say this is the block level, and I want to increase this. So this block will be a little bit higher. You can adjust that. And yeah, maybe I want to do this building or block over here. I'll do this a little bit lower. And maybe I'll do it for this one as well. Like this, and Yeah, you can see here, you also have the possibility to change the core. So in this case, I don't want to have only 2 units per staircase. So I will change this. Then I will go to a 3-span in this configuration and this block. So what it actually is that you can modify the blocks, you can modify heights, you can also modify the footprints. Let's change this down to a few 4. And now let's say I'm happy with this proposal over here. I can click save. And what happens now is that this alternative ends up in my scenario list. So I have saved this scenario as this solution over here. And the last thing I want to show you is how to bring this model outside Hektar so you can continue with it in other workflows. So you can click export and you can select. At the moment, we support 3DM, OBJ files, and you can, of course, also export the data to Excel. So again, I'm not going to do this. This is an overview video, so I'm not going to go through all of the details, but you can check out the export video where I will show you how to bring this into Rhino, how to bring this into Revit, and how to continue working with the generated models. So for now, I end this video, and please check out the other ones if you are more interested in the detail. So thank you.